Tekken Nerd Time, gonna be talking about Lars today, Tekken 8 Lars. So yeah, really happy with the design here. I've made a lot of videos about missed opportunities in either the overall system or in way characters have been designed. And Lars is the opposite. Lars has been pretty much on all Tekken 7 was just nothing but missed opportunities. He did not fit well into the system of Tekken 7. He was made specifically for the system of Tekken 6 and Tag 2, and he did very well in those, but the transition to 7 was rough for him. And because that was left with a lot of dead ends in his move list. It didn't really make sense why they were there, and Tekken 8 has done an excellent job of repurposing those tools, and I think they've done a great job with that. So the new stance, limited entry, I believe is the name, is I think the hallmark of that. That was a great decision on their end. He already had moves that put him in full crouch, but obviously they didn't want to make him a full crouch mix-up character. That's kind of a specific niche for certain types out there, and Lars had a lot going on already, so to give him a full crouch game on top of it all probably would have been too much. So instead, they turned those opportunities where his moves put him in full crouch but really didn't do anything in Tekken 7, and instead made it this limited entry stance and gave him a very nice little mixie out of there. Doubly enhanced whenever he's in heat, which one of the reasons why I'm really looking at Lars so much in this game is because he does he makes good on the heat system so well. His access to it is kind of hard. I feel like his heat engagers probably are not the best, so that's the trick to playing him. And I like characters that got a little trick to them. If you can get into heat, if you can land a heat engager, then it's party time. Oh my God, he's got a full purple stick there, and he can just go crazy. His kind of shoulder barge entrance into dynamic entry that is like an attack, but it eats up a gauge, and then everything I already said with the limited entry, they get both the low and the mid get massively buffed whenever he's in heat. Just super party time if you can get him into heat. You can of course use the one button heat entry at any point, and it's a solid move, but getting only half the bar, or is it 60% of the bar, doesn't matter. So that sucks, because man, he loves his bar, he loves his purple meter, he loves this new heat system. And I feel like in the same way that he was made for Tekken 6, he was retooled specifically in mind for Tekken 8, and what a great job they did. So super excited about this character. Every time I watch videos with him, it's like there's two modes. He's kind of gets overwhelmed for maybe the first half, or maybe just does some underwhelming type pressure, but then the heat hits, and then it's just a whole nother game happens. Now all of a sudden he's going ham, and he's completely driving. You are not driving anymore. You're getting dragged behind whatever he's deciding to do. So yeah, just very happy with the design. I really liked where they're going with Lars and Tekken 7. I mean, obviously there's a lot of flaws in that, but I felt like there's a lot of interesting things that they're trying to do with him. I really like the silent entry for the armor move. It was not well made. It was too slow. It was reactable. Had a lot of problems with it, and they massively have sped it up. And I'm pretty sure still retains its armor in Tekken 8. So that's, I think, is something that no one's even using. But I can see you having a huge effect as the Lars meta continues to evolve. Same thing with his Dynamic 3. Really cool move. Gave a lot of frames on block. I'm talking about the Tekken 7 version. Tekken 8 version. Heat engager, jumping attack. Just great. Love it. I think that was a needed mid for Dynamic entry. Even if they took away all the lows, which they didn't do. They gave him some decent lows. in it. Just having a good mid to just kind of throw in. If you're at a distance, just 4-3-3. Just throw that in there, see what happens. I think would have been fun. But now he's got some decent mids as well, so I can even have a little mixy game out of that. So I don't know. I just see him being able to open up turtles like it's like he was put on this earth to do that. But at the same time, he suffers from being pressured heavily, and that's good. You want a character who excels in one area and is flawed in another area. That makes interest in the game. Yeah. So for me, he's very powerful, but a flawed power. And in Tekken 7, he just suffered on both ends of the spectrum. You could pressure him, and whenever it was his turn, he still just didn't do much. He was like a whiff punisher specialist, but he didn't have the movement to make whiffs happen. I don't know. It wasn't good. I'd say the one thing, if I could just tweak one thing about him, would be his arc blast. I feel like this is a move that this should be a marquee move for him. This should be a move that is akin to the Mishima's electric, and it just, you don't see it, and there's, with very valid reason, it doesn't do enough for what it's supposed to do. Even if it lands, the juggle out of it, the maximized juggle out of it is so awkward, and has always had hitbox problems, or hitbox problems of it, that even in the times that you did land it, you probably would have been better off landing forward back 2-1 anyways. And it's just, again, I guess going back to forward back 2-1, the arc blast is just redundant. It doesn't do anything special. It's a few frames faster, but as far as whiff punishers go, he's got tons of whiff punishers. Mid-hitting, juggle starting whiff punishers. He doesn't need arc blast on top of it. So I would prefer to see that move completely retooled into something a little more interesting there. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's just huge positive feeling about Lars. Heavily leaning towards him as someone I'm going to be practicing a lot with. Don't know if he's main material or not, but of the him and oddly enough Lily seem to be the two that are jumping out at me as the two most likely to be main worthy, with maybe a shout out to Raven, maybe a shout out to Yu, I think is being slept on. And that's just what's been revealed so far. So positive review of what I've seen so far with Lars. Other than the arc blast, I hope they don't change a thing. Really think they've knocked it out of the park with him. So kudos and hats off to the design team, whoever was responsible for that, for the thought process behind that. Good job. Oh yeah, and the transitions, his ability to transition from dynamic to silent to limited without even having to hit buttons, just by transitioning. I love that kind of stuff. That's so cool. I almost wish you could go back and forth between silent and dynamic, like back forth, almost kind of like a makeshift wave dash, where you don't know if he's going to end in silent or dynamic, and if he does it too many times, maybe, I don't know, almost like akin to Yoshimitsu. If he spins too many times, he gets dizzy and falls over. I don't want Lars to get dizzy and fall over, but maybe if you do it too many times, like, I don't know, like maybe like lightning builds up around him, the more often times he does it. But if you do it like 5 times, then it's like poof, the lightning just kind of bursts out of him, and he's left with nothing. I don't know, that'd just be interesting for me. Anyways, yeah, a lot of, like I said previously, I've done a lot of critical videos about things that I thought were missed, and I wanted to double back and start talking about things that I think are huge hits, which certainly outweigh and outnumber the misses in Tekken 8. So super looking forward to it ending